So yesterday after school, I was in a rush to get home. I'd been staying after school a lot lately to finish up some projects, and I was sick of lugging my bag back and forth, so I decided to leave it in my locker and come back for it the next day. But when I got to my locker, this note was taped to it, and being the curious person that I am, I couldn't help but read it. It said, "Hey, if you're seeing this, please stay after school today and do unopen your locker until 5:30. There's something in there for you." From the janitor? Okay, what the hell? I mean, why would the janitor leave me a note like this? What did he put in my locker? Was it dangerous? Is this some kind of sick joke? I wanted to go home and tell my mom about it, but then I'd never hear the end of it. She'd make me take self-defense classes and hire bodyguards for me. No, I had to do this on my own. I had to face whatever was in my locker head on. So against my better judgment, I agreed. I waited until everyone had left the school, and then I walked back into the empty hallway. I crept closer and closer to my locker and just stared at it. It looked so innocent with its rows of neatly organized cubbies, each separated by these long vertical dividers. The air grew colder, and my heart started to race. My hand trembled as I reached out to grab the handle and twist it open. As the door swung inward, my eyes adjusted to the darkness inside, and I began to make out the shape of an object lying in the bottom of my locker. I sighed with relief. It was just a box. I closed the door, trying to steady my breathing. Then I opened it again and reached inside to grab it. As my fingers brushed against the object, I could feel its rough, uneven edges. I pulled it out and turned it over in my hands. It was a wooden box, one of those old-fashioned ones with grooves running vertically along its sides. I ran my fingers over the top, feeling the intricate patterns carved into it. I didn't recognize them, but they seemed familiar somehow. A chill went down my spine, and I suddenly wished that I hadn't come back here alone. But I had to know what was inside. I lifted the lid slightly and peered in. There was something inside, something small enough to fit in the palm of my hand. I hesitated, debating with myself. Should I look? What if it's dangerous? But curiosity got the better of me. Reached in and felt around until my fingers brushed against something soft. I pulled it out and held it in the dim light. It was a teddy bear. I stared at it in disbelief. That's all it was, a teddy bear. What the hell? Then I noticed a small piece of fabric sticking out from under its arm. I reached in and pulled it out. It was a note. I unfolded it and read, "Don't trust anyone. Not even me. Your worst fears are real. Run while you can." My heart started to pound in my chest. Who wrote this? Why were they scaring me? Had they put something else in my locker that I didn't see? I quickly scanned the room, my eyes searching for anything out of place. Everything looked normal. But then I heard a noise. It was coming from inside the walls. At first it was just a whisper, but then it grew louder, morphing into a guttural scream. I stumbled backward, knocking over the box. It fell to the floor with a loud bang, and the teddy bear tumbled out. The scratching started again, louder now, and I could feel the vibrations through the floor. I spun around, desperate to find the source of the noise, and that's when I saw it. A small hole had been scratched into the wood paneling on the wall. And as I watched in disbelief, it kept getting bigger. Suddenly a hand shot out and grabbed my ankle. I screamed and tried to pull away, but it was no use. Second hand clamped onto my arm and yanked me toward the hole in the wall. I kicked and clawed at it, but it only made the grip on me tighten. And then I saw his face. His eyes were wide, and his mouth was twisted into a snarl. But it wasn't human. It was something else, something evil. And as it dragged me closer, I knew I was in grave danger.